All right, everybody. How are we doing today? Welcome back to another episode of the Robbie Basel Show. It's a big day today. Today is the 1 year anniversary of the beginning of the launch of this show and this YouTube channel. It's incredible that I even got to this point. 93 episodes later and 3 long streams, we finally made it to 1 year of the Robbie Basel Show. And listen, I could have stopped at, I think there were multiple different points, but appreciate all you guys who've stuck with me along through the journey so far. 93 episodes. I think we only missed 3 episodes last year, which is nuts. But listen, I love doing this. Love giving my thoughts, just talking to a screen and having you guys listen. I mean, shout out to you guys who want to listen to the episodes. 93 episodes in, so make sure to like and subscribe to continue the journey because there will be more guests, more things to come in the summer. I have some big plans. We're trying to make the big plans still, but it's been an incredible start. I can't wait to see what happens in the future with this channel. This channel's not going anywhere as of now. We're not going anywhere. It's been an incredible year for me in terms of media, with being part of 36 ESPN broadcasted games over, I believe, 33 different days. Now I've worked over 50 ESPN games, which is crazy in itself. Broadcasted was a broadcaster, I believe, for about a fifth of those total, which is awesome. Fairly respectable numbers. Into the Stands finished year 2. The project there is still going strong. We'll let you guys hopefully have some updates for you on the future of Into the Stands. At some point within the next month, maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's other possibilities going on regarding Into the Stands, but looks like it's staying the way it is, and I think that's best for everybody. Hopefully I'll have some other media announcements coming soon regarding other roles that I could be in the future, but that's for another time. What do we have for you today? 5 sports. We started this channel going over, what was it, F1. We had the Lionel Messi saga begin, and the links to Miami. We had the links with Suarez. I don't even remember. And we talked about Endrick and the anomaly that he is, which is crazy. Because he's joining, I believe he's joining Real Madrid next summer. But today we're starting way different, and that is with Formula 1. And I will load now everything for you guys because at this point in the day, I don't know why it's not loading. I guess not. I guess we're not starting with Formula 1 today. So we'll stop sharing the screen. Hopefully I get this to work because it just finished in Miami. The grid is set. It's just not loading. So hopefully I can figure this out, but it's really odd that this is happening. But what happened today? Well, today was the Miami Sprint, and while we wait for the other stuff to load, maybe we can go over the Miami Sprint race that happened this weekend, and we'll now load it up for you. The Miami Sprint F1 Crypto.com Miami GP Sprint. Let's scroll down for you what happened today. Sprint race was crazy. We had, this is boring. Top 3, Daniel Ricciardo, P4, qualified 4th, finished in 4th. Very good day for Daniel, for that part at least. More on him in a moment. But then we had Carlos Sainz, Piastri, Nico Hülkenberg, Yuki Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, Logan Sargent, P10. He did not get a good Q1 time today. Later, at least. Zhou Guanyu, 11th. George Russell, 12th. Albon, 13th. Bottas, 14th. Esteban Ocon, 15th. Lewis Hamilton, after getting a harsh penalty for speed. I don't even remember what it was. He's 16th. Alonso, 17th. Magnussen in his 25 seconds of penalties, or 20 seconds, my pardon, of penalties, finishes in 18th. And then we had Stroll and Norris not even get past the first lap. So, my thoughts on this. Big day for RB. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls did something, damn it. Listen, it's awesome to see. And double points finishes for Ricardo, who got 5 points. Yuki Tsunoda got 1 point. I don't know what the expectation for RB was going to be. I don't think many people, of course, would have expected to see Daniel Ricciardo in 4th. We're taking Max out of the picture because we need to keep some semblance of what actually was relevant during today's race. Daniel Ricciardo started 4th, got up to 3rd at one point because of he got up to 3rd and then fell back down to 4th due to Sergio Perez. But overall, I think it's a solid start to the weekend for RB. They qualified okay. Daniel Ricciardo qualified 4th, as mentioned. He went crazy. He did a lot of things right. Carlos Sainz 5th. He really couldn't get past Daniel, which was concerning at one point. Piastri 6th. Decent day for him. Nico 7th. Yuki 8th. And the big story, of course, I think is going to be the Lando Norris crash. He had Hamilton send it down the inside. It was like 4 wide at one point. I'm like, you don't see this in modern F1 cars. 4 wide into a corner. It's ridiculous. Big people who I would blame for this. I blamed Stroll because he went left and didn't try to finish the corner and he didn't give Lando a chance to like veer off to the left and stay alive in the race. No, he just turned into him, which it's a Lance Stroll-esque move at this point. But yeah, Aston Martin really got punished by that, and they deserve to. Alonso finished 17th, I think, or 15th, whatever it was, and Stroll didn't get past lap 2. So, listen, you could point out a lot of things, but actually, no, Hamilton's penalty was for speeding in the pit lane because the crash happened in turn 1, and they made everyone go through the pits during the safety car, which I thought was smart. But Hamilton got a penalty when he was going through the pits, which I didn't know the rule even stayed that way for when there's a safety car out. But overall, not terrible. I actually thought it was a really good sprint race. Now, what's annoying is that the grid is not loading for later. So I'm going to try and pull up, see if my phone has it loaded real quick. And while we're doing that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're doing this right after, like literally minutes away after qualifying ended. We know we got pole. We know we got 1, 2, and 3. It's just not loading the rest of the grid, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm trying to get everything out for you guys. Make sure everything works. But I did not expect this to take so long. So, poll today. Here's the grid. We're not gonna be able to show you a photo of it, which sucks. But we'll stop the sharing. Here is your grid. Max Verstappen's on pole, followed by Leclerc at Sainz 2 and 3. Sergio Perez is 4th, Lando Norris in 5th, Piastri 6th, Russell 7th, Hamilton 8th, Hülkenberg 9, Yuki Tsunoda 10, Stroll 11, Gasly 12. We have 13th is Ocon, 14th Albon, 15th Alonso, 16th Bottas, 17th Sargent, 18th Ricardo, which is crazy after his races earlier, 19th Magnussen, and 20th is Zhou Guanyu. The biggest surprises for me has to be Daniel because he had such a good sprint earlier and then qualified 18th, which I did call in a text earlier that I was like, oh yeah, he's going to suck in Q1 today. I was right. But yeah, 18th. I still think he can make up ground, especially with the way the track went earlier. Logan Sargent improved 6 positions, I believe. No, 9 positions. My mistake. 9 positions were improved by Logan Sargent, which is nuts for Logan Sargent. But he starts in 17th. I think he can make up places, but it's just going to see how the race goes. Alpine, 12th and 13th, they're doing better. Haas getting into Q3 again is nuts. I think K-Mag got screwed. I think there were like multiple cars impeding his lap, but they didn't go out and say anyone was impeding the lap, which I thought was a bit odd. But listen, that's just the way it is sometimes, you know. And you gotta make an adjustment. K-Mag did it, and here we are. On to the next sport we're going to talk about real quick is the Champions League. We had the first 2 fixtures from the semifinals. We had Bayern and Real Madrid. I called this, by the way. I said Bayern was going to make Real Madrid struggle, and Real Madrid really did. It ended in a 2-2 draw. And the other match was a 1-0 to Dortmund. Another thing I called. So, the Germans really balling out. We'll start with this game. Real Madrid, they were really solid, I think, in this game. But Bayern were able to capitalize at the Allianz. Go level to the Santiago Bernabeu. I'm concerned, though, for Bayern still because they're all going on the road. They do have something to play for, though, because the Bundesliga is done. This is their only chance, really, at a trophy all year because they got eliminated in the Pokal, if you remember, by Saarbrücken. This is Bayern's chance. I think they're going to still take it to Real Madrid. We'll talk. Actually, no, we're going to have to talk about it now because there's no episode on Tuesday. What are my expectations? Real Madrid should win this. But Bayern, I think, will continue to cause problems. I'm going to say 2-1 to Real Madrid, and I think they win this. But not going to be easy. Other match. This is PSG's to lose now. Only losing 1-0 in Dortmund. It does hurt that they lost at Dortmund, but it's not the end of the world. I think PSG wins this next game 2-0. Going home, needing to win at the Parc des Princes. I think they get it done. I think Paris Saint-Germain is going to be able to go to the Champions League final in the last dance for Kylian Mbappe. It's kind of like, they're playing Real Madrid if my prediction is correct, of course. It's like one last dance against the team he would eventually play for. Probably play for because he's going to be rumored to sign a deal with Real Madrid. Imagine it's like an Avengers Endgame. It's like the Endgame for PSG. You're about to lose your best player on a free to Real Madrid, but he's facing the team that he could be signing for. I mean, imagine he wins the Champions League with PSG and how that could change the entire club. A team that's never won a Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain, they've gone close. They've been able to spend a lot of money, but they've never won it. They've dominated Ligue 1, which is sometimes some people call a farmers league. They have a chance to destroy the narrative. Do I think they do it? I think they at least make the final, which is something I don't know if they've actually done before. But closing it out is harder enough, especially when you're playing Real Madrid in a final. So that's something to watch out for. Champions League semifinals. What are the dates? It's the 7th and 8th. We kick it off at 3 Eastern, which is 1500 on time here in Paris. Of course, PSG down 1-0. And then we have Bayern Munich against Real Madrid with the final being June 1st. It will be a crazy next next week or so. We will talk about the Champions League more next episode, which of course is going to be Friday because I have to focus on finals and pack up this dorm because this is actually the last episode you will see in this dorm room, which is nuts because we've done, 40 episodes here? Let me check. I don't know because, listen, it's a lot. It really is a lot, and it's been awesome to be able to make content for you guys. Speaking of content, while I load this up, check out my last Instagram post, which came out. It came out on earlier this week. So it came out earlier this week. Make sure you guys check it out. We've done way more than I thought. We've done over 50 episodes in this dorm room. 50. Over 50. That is crazy. In this dorm. It was awesome to be able to work in here. And next year, of course, I'll continue to do the dorm shows in my next dorm room, which will be upstairs, actually in the same building, which is pretty cool. But yeah, over 50 episodes here is ridiculous. And I think it's about 55 at least in here. I don't know. Something along those lines of about 55 episodes in this room. 50 to 55. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I have on that. Next up, Premier League. A lot to talk about there. We actually had matches today because I'm filming this, of course, on Saturday, and it goes out on Saturday. One moment, actually, so I can get the fixture list up because it's showing an ad. We don't like ads here because we have results from today, actually, and some very important ones for the rest of the season, including a team likely being relegated. So, let's talk about it. Running an issue? No, you're not, because we have these games. We'll kick it off on Friday with Luton drawing Everton at Kenilworth Road, possibly it turned out to really hurt them in the end because they had chances. They should have won this game, I think, over Everton. And if they didn't win, if they lost, they were probably relegated, but they still have a lifeline because Nottingham Forest took care of business. They beat Sheffield United 3-1. Sheffield officially has the worst defense in Premier League history. And of course they did everything after going up a goal. Makes perfect sense. Burnley is now probably relegated. They went out and lost 4-1 to Newcastle, which is awesome for Newcastle. Man City went out and beat Wolves in the late session today. They, courtesy of 4 goals from Erling Haaland. Brentford and Fulham played out the most probable matchup between the two and did not score a goal at all. And Arsenal, who got completely bailed earlier, and in the opening match of the day, and went out and beat Bournemouth 3-0. Now, my thoughts on this game, because this is the game we're going to take a look at the most. I was able to watch it. Woke up at 7:30. We watched this game. Penalty. You can't really overturn it. But when you really think about what the motion was going to be, I don't think this penalty decision was totally wrong. That being said, in the moment, it looked like a penalty. I think at the end of the day, it's a penalty, but it's a very fine margin between the two. 100%. I think Bournemouth were unlucky to not score. I think they should have had the goal that was disallowed for a foul. I think they should have been granted that goal. I think that goal really should have been given, especially in the moment of the match that it was in. And if that goal was given, I think that would have really changed how the rest of the match would have gone, because Bournemouth would have came out with energy, with passion, with pace, and everything in between. They would have really taken it to Arsenal. And I think they did take it to Arsenal, because in the first half, Bournemouth, terrible. Second half, Bournemouth, really solid. I think they were very unlucky to lose 3-0. They didn't deserve to lose 3-0. That I can tell you. I can tell you that for free. That Arsenal, due to their lack of ability to finish in front of goal, deserved to not win this game. But they did, and now have a chance to still win the league. Fixtures for tomorrow and Monday, we have Brighton against Aston Villa. This game is huge for both teams. Quickly, let's look at the table for why this game is big. Tottenham can basically clinch top 5 with a win here because, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. They're not. I don't know. I mean, Newcastle still has to play Brighton. To be fair, so does Villa. But next Saturday, Brighton-Newcastle could really affect a lot of things. Tottenham, though, they've struggled. They've gone on lost to Chelsea. They've lost to Arsenal. They've lost to Newcastle. They've only won 1 of the last 5, and it was, of course, to Nottingham Forest. They need to win this game against Liverpool, a Liverpool team that's only won 1 of their last 5 as well. They've drew West Ham. They lost to freaking Everton. They beat Fulham. Good for you. They lost to Palace, and they drew Manchester United. All on the line tomorrow. And I think this game ends as a 2-2 draw. Listen, Tottenham have exceeded expectations entirely. Actually, no, I'm going to change my result. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. Spurs' lack of ability to adjust, I think, will actually be really effective in this game. In the inevitable farewell tour of Jurgen Klopp, which is, I believe, is the second to last game for him at Liverpool when they play at home, or third to last. I don't know. Let's look at. I'm sorry if this hurts your eyes at all, but let me take a look at Liverpool as a whole, because yeah, we know what they look like. We know all that fixture list. Their fixtures remaining for, oh my god. So this is when you know I'm not a professional, like when this type of stuff happens. Liverpool's remaining games, they play Spurs, we know that. They play Aston Villa, and they play Wolves. 3 games to go. Second to last home game ever for Jurgen Klopp. I think they get it done. 2-1. I'm changing my score. 2-1. Chelsea, West Ham, this screams draw, and then Aston Villa has to beat Brighton if they want a chance to be finished in the top 4. They can clinch top 4 with a win this week. Crystal Palace against Manchester United. Oh, how I would love a win from Palace. Because, think about it. Palace beating United, and then we beat United the following week. That would be sick, because Arsenal plays Manchester United a week from tomorrow on Sunday at Old Trafford, 11:30 Eastern. Oh, how crucial that game is. But So we'll talk about that more on that game on Friday because, listen, all to play for in the next couple of games, but man, it will be a very fun and enjoyable finish to the Premier League this season. Next up, we're quickly heading over to the NBA playoffs, which has been solid so far. We do have some game 7, so we don't have a full finished first round bracket yet, but let's take a look at what we have. Thunder to dethrone the Pelicans. The Mavs took it in game 6 last night. They went out and beat the Clippers to advance to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. T-Wolves swept the Suns. We knew about this. The Nuggets beat the Lakers. Down here, though, what resilience by the New York Knicks. Excuse me. Outperforming expectations is a very difficult task at times for certain teams. New York Knicks have exceeded expectations for me already. They got past the first round, and they looked decent doing it. They're going to be playing the Indiana Pacers, who dethroned my Eastern Conference champions. The Milwaukee Bucks, because Giannis and Damian Lillard got hurt. Pacers took advantage. Up in the top right, Boston dethroned the Miami Heat. And what a Game 7 we'll have for you. That's going to be happening on Sunday, 1 Eastern, ABC. How does the song go, chat? How does it go? Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic. Oh. And I did it on Wednesday. I did it again today. Oh, what a night to be an Orlando Magic fan. They went out and won. They forced Game 7. They'll play the do-or-die game in Cleveland, Ohio, to decide who will be facing the Boston Celtics. I like Cleveland in this matchup, but don't be surprised if Orlando wins at this point. The biggest surprise in the playoffs so far has got to be the Pacers, but I'm going to throw another spotlight on here. The biggest surprise for me has been the Oklahoma City Thunder for dominating New Orleans after a very shaky first couple of games. Really took it to them in the end. Were able to get the sweep. Shockingly disappointing is the Suns that got swept by the Timberwolves, which makes the Timberwolves another surprise. Nuggets looked really good against the Lakers. Lakers firing their head coach today because that's just what the Lakers do. Boston, not surprised that they beat the Heat by that. Knicks, they were dominated by Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. They're playing a more all-around group. Do not be surprised if the Pacers win Game 1. Or don't be surprised if the Pacers really take it to the Knicks. They're going to be playing with a lot. They have a lot to play for. They have a lot to prove. Don't be surprised if they take it on Monday. But what an NBA playoffs it's been. If you want expectations for the conference semifinals, series to watch for is definitely down here bottom right. The bottom 2 series I like a lot. Especially these, Nuggets, Timberwolves. We know what the series is going to be like. We know what could possibly happen. They're going to take it to each other really well. I think that game's going at least 5. Knicks Pacers, I think it's going to be really enjoyable as well. You can see Tyrese Halliburton and the young gun Pacers try to take down Jalen Brunson and essentially the Villanova Knicks. Top left, Thunder Mavs. The new kids on the block and the dominant Oklahoma City Thunder take on the experienced Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Mavericks. And top right, we have the Boston Celtics, the best team in the NBA. Statistically, record-wise, whatever you want to call it. They're going up against one of the 2 young guns in the Eastern Conference as well, in the Cleveland Cavaliers led by the Spider, Donovan Mitchell, or the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Listen, the song's a vibe. I gotta admit it. The song's a vibe. I love it. Keep the song. But like I said, I have Cleveland winning that. So it's going to be a very enjoyable next round of the NBA playoffs. Those start very soon. And I know I'm speeding through this a little bit, but there's not a lot of time today because it's later on a day, on a Saturday, and people have things to do. We'll conclude with the NHL tonight. The NHL playoffs looking very enjoyable as well. We'll take a look at the bracket now. The big surprise here, Vegas taking it to the Dallas Stars. Oh, what a day this will be. Game 7 very soon. Colorado beat Winnipeg. I did predict that to happen. Vancouver beat Nashville. Also predicted it to happen. As well as Edmonton beat the Kings. So I'm 3 for 3 in the West. West I'm doing really well. In the East, not so much. I have the Rangers. I did have them beating the Capitals. This I did not expect. The Islanders getting dominated by the Carolina Hurricanes. Top right, I did have Florida. This is interesting. We'll take a look at this more in depth. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference opening round is tonight and will be live and should be after this episode goes live. What a game this is going to be. Toronto playing Boston in a Game 7. I'm picking Boston. This Boston team is too good. Same with Toronto. They know how to underperform expectations very well. And, I'm going to use the logic of they are disappointing. Ooh, that's an interesting move. That's an interesting news. I'll continue this, though. Matthews and company, I do not think beat this Boston team. They're going to outperform expectations because they looked really bad at times in this series. I have Boston win this game 3-2 tonight, but it's going to be a classic game from Boston and Toronto. This one's going to be also really fun. Dallas is disappointing me, but to be fair, Vegas finagled their way to even be in this situation. This is on Sunday on all of these channels, 7:30 Eastern Sunday night. What an interesting situation this is. I have Dallas winning this, though. I think the Dallas Stars team is great. They've been healthy for most of the season. They're top dog for a reason now in the West. They've been a great team. I think they continue to be a great team. I have them advancing to face the Colorado Avalanche. But series as we know of, this is going to be fun. I'm picking Edmonton. We all know why. It would be funny, though, to see Vancouver continue to exceed expectations. This screams upset Hurricanes. I like the Hurricanes in this series, but I've doubted the Rangers already. I'm going to continue that doubt. I'm going to pick the Carolina Hurricanes. Top, I'm picking Boston. I'm picking Boston. Resilience. I think they advance to Florida, and I think they'll head to the Eastern Conference Finals. Up here, I'm going to pick Dallas to win, of course, and I have Dallas beating Colorado. They would advance, for me, to face Edmonton. So yeah, today was just a quick rundown day, just to give a quick thoughts on a couple of things. Don't have the most amount of time in the world. It's just the way it is for a college student at the end of a semester. But once again, big thank you to everyone who's supported this channel for the last year. It's been incredible, and the ride will continue to go for hopefully years to come. But we'll see. It's just getting started here. 1 year down, many more to go, and hopefully, I have some big news for you guys in the coming weeks. Update on future shows. We'll be doing the Premier League season recap. That video, we're still planning how we're going to do it or when it will happen. Also, Euros, Copa America, and other qualifiers might be condensed into one video. I'm trying to figure that out still, but I just don't know how we would do it. I'm still trying to plan that all out because during May, there's also next week might be, or soon will be PGA Championship. We get to talk about that very soon. Almost forgot. Back to overall, it's been crazy that I'm even in this situation. And it's a big thank you to you guys again. Shows, you'll get hopefully hear on some of them very soon, including other possible announcements. Once again, very soon. But unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to this dorm room that saw over 50 episodes. It's still crazy to me. Or around 50 episodes. I think it's 50, give or take 2 or 3, but it's done a good job. I'm really thankful that I'm able to do this and have the room to myself. It's pretty cool to have this opportunity, but for the last time in this dorm room, in the last year, and the start of things to come, that will be the end of today's episode of the Robbie Basel Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. It will be greatly, greatly appreciated. To everyone taking finals, for this week at least, best of luck. We all know what you guys can do. Hopefully I can ball out just like you guys will and go out there and get a good grades at the end of the semester and enjoy the summer a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, summer starts Wednesday. Can't complain. But for now, Robbie Basel saying so long. No episode Tuesday. See you guys next week on Friday. Goodbye, everyone.